Welcome in, everybody. We are back with In the Box with, this time, we have got a champ. Not just a one-time champ, a two-time champ with 2 trophies. I didn't get a trophy. I just got some pats on the back, which, you know, I don't need material things. I'm good. We have Sweet Left Foot. Mike, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Bajie. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Most welcome. So we are obviously number 1 and 2 in the FM rankings. After I won the wasted possession draft the other day, and Mike with his double Super League win. You can catch Mike again, obviously, within the Super League coming up in the next week or 2.
Yeah, so the draft is on the 20th of July tonight as we record this Tuesday.
Cool. Yeah.
The group stage is Thursday the 22nd, and if I can get through that, then the knockouts are the Sunday the 25th. So I personally think it'll be third time. You know, all things come in threes, don't they, Bajie? So I've already racked up 2 trophies.
They do.
So we'll take another one and put that on there as well. Put that on the trophy cabinet on the shelf.
Obviously, Mike also regular on the FM Showdown as well. Has been on there as one of the hosts and one of the competitors. I'm guessing you are going for the Mikey 6 time to compete with Kev within the Super League as well now. So and obviously the Showdown isn't included in the FM rankings. They didn't want to release stuff apparently. So you know, this is where it's all at now.
Yeah, I mean. Like you said, 1 and 2 of the rankings is pretty good, right? I feel like me and you should just consistently just chop away at each other to stay there. Don't let anybody else come into this little circle of winners.
Nah, man, no. We're done. We're cool.
That's it.
We might as well just end this now.
Everyone else is below us. We look down on them.
Yes. Standard. We are here for In the Box with. We have got the standard 5 questions we will be going through with Mike, as we know. Every time, guys, different answers, different opinions, and that's why we do it. Keep the questions the same, get different answers, and see where we are at. So let's start off with the most obvious question, which is question number 1. What is your first real memory of football?
I've got a few, so it's okay. I have a few, right? I couldn't narrow this down to 1. So. I remember, this is going to be really bad. I think I was about 9 years old. So I was at the time where I was jumping between supporting football clubs. I wasn't nailed on with someone. At the time, I supported Liverpool, and they were playing Arsenal in the cup final. And it was Michael Owen scoring the winner, where I think he touched it down with his head, left foot across the goalkeeper. Yeah, that was at the time. I was really happy about that because at the time I supported Liverpool. Now I'd look back on that not so much, but that was one of my earlier ones.
Was that 2000? 2001?
I think it was 2001 potentially.
Yeah.
But it was a time as well where I was playing football at that age, and Michael Owen was very much like a popular figure amongst like schoolboys playing football, and everyone wanted to be like Michael Owen. He was like the in thing at the time. So that's another reason why that specifically stood out to me. Plus, we got the same first name.
So. Yeah, well, that's very true. He's only 7 days older than me.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. His career went somewhat better than mine.
Yeah.
I feel though I am a better host and pundit. So
I mean, he says some remarkably stupid, obvious things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd put you above him, Bajie. I don't know is it BT Sport he works for? They should give you a call.
Yeah, they should. I'm not doubting that. Although they've got a lot of numpties working on BT, haven't they? So you know, maybe I don't want to call from BT. I don't want to join the ever-growing list.
I mean, no, you'd be fine. You'd smash it. Just take it. Gary Lineker's going. You could take his job.
That's very true.
There you go. They should audition for that.
Yeah, exactly. Open mic spot.
Open floor. The other 2 first real football memories. I think. Well, everyone English will probably enjoy this one. Germany 1, England 5 in the World Cup qualifiers.
Yes.
I remember watching that, and that was my first real memory of an England game.
Yeah.
Like I was too young to really remember the World Cup at '98 and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this qualifier was a real like stamp of authority, a landmark, and a 5-1 win. It was like it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, did Owen get a hat trick? Heskey and Gerrard.
Owen, Heskey. Was it Heskey or was it Barmby?
I know Heskey got one.
Well, in that case, yeah, Heskey and Gerrard
Heskey got one.
Gerrard got a blaster from about 25 yards out, and Owen got a hat trick. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Nicky Barmby being a left midfielder in that, which was bizarre. But yeah.
I haven't heard the name Nick Barmby in years. So long. But yeah, Germany 1, England 5 was one of my earliest football memories as well. That was a time where everyone around me as well, I remember it was just everyone just enjoyed that, even though it was only a qualifier.
Yeah.
People really had fun with that and enjoyed it, and it went as well as it possibly could go.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of concern as well, because I think Germany were 1-0 up after about 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, I think they did go 1-0 up.
And that was it. Never won in Munich before the Olympic Stadium, and it was like this is going to go bad. This is going to go bad, and then all of a sudden 2-1 up at half time and just dominated.
Yeah, there was, what I love about it is, like you said, there's a backstory where 1-0 down, never won in Munich, in their backyard, and we turn up and put 5 past them. And I think that was at the time where we were coming into sort of like what was then considered like a golden generation for English football. So it was a real sort of, you saw that and you thought, hold on, is this what we're going to become? Is this what could be? Is this what tournaments and qualifiers and English national football is going to be like? Obviously not. I've got a memory of that I'll get onto later on. But obviously, unfortunately not. But still, the 5-1 win was one of my first real football memories as well.
Yeah. And that was when everybody suddenly thought Sven-Göran and Eriksson was going to be some kind of god.
Yep. I mean, there was a song about him, wasn't there?
Yeah, Sven. I saw that the other day. It was awful. I'd completely forgotten it. It was one of those things you wipe from your memory, a little bit like Ant and Dec's "We're on the Ball."
Oh we're on the ball. Yeah.
Ironically, on YouTube, came up as the next song after the Sven one. So it went in all how bad football songs could be.
I might still have it. I used to have an England album called Jumpers for Goalposts, and it had every sort of, as many songs as possible relevant to English football.
Yeah.
I'll have to dig that out somewhere because that's brilliant. But yeah, both of those songs were on there, probably one after the other as well.
Track number 28 and number 25.
Yeah, literally just
right at the end. No one gets that far.
All the way. No. If you put it in the car journey, you're done by that time. Nobody's got that far.
Exactly.
I've got one more. Well, this isn't so much a single memory, but I've written down here a whole host of Thierry Henry moments from the early 2000s, because I think it's no secret I'm an Arsenal fan. Somebody has to be. And Henry to me is everything that I loved about Arsenal Football Club. He was just he was excellent, the epitome of everything that I wanted from a club, everything that I enjoyed about the club. And you could list so many, like his chip up volley against United, his first goal for the club. I remember one of the ones he scored against Watford as well. His back heel against Middlesbrough, hat tricks left, right, and centre. Like from 2000 to sort of 2004, he was just such a joy to watch. And being the age of, I think it was 8 to 12, 13 at that time, you're so young and just enjoying him as a footballer. There's so many, like I've got his DVD somewhere of all of his goals, and the amount that you forget that he scored, like a hat trick against Liverpool where he left Harman and Carragher on the floor. He's got a couple against West Ham where he sort of turned off his thigh and smashed it in at Upton Park. There's loads of him, and just if I was to think of a single moment, I couldn't. That's why I've essentially now listed off loads, because he was a real like idol of mine. He was what I wanted to. Everyone as a young footballer has got someone that they look up to or they really want to be. And he was mine. He was excellent.
See, mine was he became an Arsenal player, but I kind of missed a chunk of it. So mine was David Platt. So when he was at Villa, absolute baller in the late 80s, early 90s. And then obviously went off to Italy just as they started doing Football Italia on Channel 4. So you got to see the games there when he went to Bari and when he went to Juventus and Sampdoria. So you kind of got to see a lot of it still. And then obviously he came back over. But by the time he came back to Arsenal, he was a completely different player. He was very deep lying ball player as opposed to that box-to-box goal scorer. Yeah. And I think, it changed drastically. But yeah, he was definitely someone I looked up to when I was younger. Yeah. So Henry, though, I mean, for that period of time, absolute baller. And it was one of those where you kind of watched it and you thought, Wenger, every signing Wenger makes, they're right. I mean, they weren't. We all know they weren't, because for every Henry, there was a Kaba Diawara or a Christopher Ray or someone like that. But it seemed to be that team.
Shamak.
Well, yeah. But that team at the time was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And when someone left, you lost Vieira. And he replaced him with Gilberto Silva. And, you lost, and someone else went, Overmars went, and Lundberg came in, or Pires. It was just ridiculous. The swap over and the players that were replacing the ones going.
They fit the system perfectly. Yeah. That was a real nice, that was a really nice time to be an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Just very enjoyable. Like going back, it's made me now want to watch the DVD again.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I'll value just because it's so good.
Yeah.
And like we said, everyone's got that one player that they adored, and he was that guy. So yeah, I was there as well. I know this isn't early 2000s when his comeback game against Leeds United in the FA Cup.
Yeah, when he returned from America.
Yeah, I think it was a loan spell. I was there for that game, and I think he come on as a sub after about 65, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he replaced Walcott, and I thought, this is written for him here.
Yeah.
If he wants it, this is a typical Henry moment. And I remember the pass through from Alex Song, and he peeled off the defender, and the first touch sort of set it out in front of him. And then it was just such an Henry-esque finish, just side-footed into the corner. I went absolutely mad, but it wasn't mad because we've scored and we're going to beat Leeds in the FA Cup. I went mad because I thought, I've seen him score.
Yeah.
I've seen him play. I've seen him score. I was far too young to go to games when he was in his prime, essentially. I think I saw him play a few times. I don't think I ever saw him score. And the last time I remember seeing him play was against Villarreal in the Champions League semi-final 2006.
Yes.
So since then, and then he left not long after that, I think a year or two after being at the Emirates. So when he came back,
he went straight away, didn't he? Didn't he go in that summer?
I think he had a year there.
After the
I think he had a year at the new stadium.
Okay.
Yeah. A year or two, and then he went to Barca. But I thought, moment's gone. I'm never going to get a chance to see that. So seeing him score was just, it was very wholesome. It took me back to my childhood of being a young boy watching him, wanting to go out into the garden with a football and be like him, to then seeing him score was really cool.
Fantastic. Awesome. So next question. We are looking at first international tournament and most memorable moment from it. You've already touched on this and the not so joy of being an England fan.
Yeah. I feel like other people would have said this as well. So my first international tournament I remember was the 2002 World Cup.
Yep.
Was it Korea and Japan?
Yep.
I believe it was that one.
It was indeed, yeah.
And the moment I remember the most is watching Ronaldinho whip a free kick over David Seaman into the top corner to knock us out.
And it was almost like the floundering backwards of David Seaman was almost like he was trying to take out the hair bunchy. it was all the way back.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get. He forgot he had his big gloves on. He couldn't get proper purchase. It was. Yeah.
But that was so cool because I think I was 10 years old at the time. Must have been in year 5 or something like that. I remember being in school. They wheeled in the television. We all watched it on the TV. I think it was really early in the morning.
Yeah,
so I think we watched it before school.
Yeah.
Or we were at school and we watched it because everyone was watching it in their own classrooms. I think we watched it as the first lesson or something like that because it was a sort of a can't miss moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for kids that age as well, especially if they like sports, to, bring the nation together. It was nice to get us included as well.
Yeah.
That's the first tournament I remember, the first moment I remember. But what was so cool about it is that I remember small things like playing against Brazil and normally seeing them in like the yellow and with a green trim and blue shorts or the white shorts, but they were playing in the blue top and the white shorts. So I thought, oh, this is different. And that sort of sticks out in my head.
Yeah.
And then all the hype around the 3 Rs, I think it was Ronaldo, Rivaldo and Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
And how good they were going forward. And this is without mentioning like Roberto Carlos, Dida, Cafu, Lucio. Like you think back to that team, you think, oh, I've probably missed someone obvious there. Adriano, maybe. But there was such there was such a focus on the 3 Rs going forward. I thought, this is like, they're such 3 huge players. Yeah. And our country and England are playing them and we could beat them. Yeah. And you sort of held them to a higher regard. Whereas now you'd look at it and you think, you understand the game a bit more. So you think, oh, well, we can match them here. We can match them there.
Yeah.
It was just a really cool moment for me. And one that I do remember, and it will stick out forever, that I just really enjoyed, even though we went out, I enjoyed the whole moment, the tournament. And it's obviously, like you said, given me a memory. So I can't complain.
No, exactly. And that's a big thing as well. And I think sometimes with these, you start thinking about the stuff and you remember stuff you haven't thought about for a long time, and that nostalgia kicks in. Cool. So career Japan, 2002 World Cup, second round exit. Oh, no, sorry. Was it second round? Third round. So it would have been third round. So, so we went through the group. We then beat Denmark, I think, quite comfortably, and then got beat by Brazil.
I can't remember who we beat. The Brazil game is the only one that really sticks out to me.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so moving on to number 3. When playing football, Mike, what is your position?
No, you need to specify. Are we 5 aside, 7 aside, 11 aside?
11 aside. Let's go 11.
All right, 11 aside. I played midfield a lot, 7 aside, and that transitioned into 11 aside. So I used to be one of the only left footers in my team.
Okay.
So when we went to 11 aside, I was a midfielder at 7 because I had a good shot on me and I could cross the ball. And they thought 11 aside, we'll put you on the left wing, do the same. Yeah. So initially I was a left midfielder, which I really enjoyed, was up and down. Always had a good gas tank, always had good energy levels. Loved getting forward. Didn't like defending as much. Loved getting forward, loved getting bit into like the attacking third, loved taking corners, set pieces. I was on them. So really enjoyed that. As I got older and I started to I didn't lose much pace, but my work ethic was good. So they dropped me as a left midfielder. And this is a time where dropped me back to a left back, where like the 4-3-3s and things were coming in. So if we had one single striker and we had a more advanced winger, they wanted someone that could get up and down. So I went to, it sounds bad moving back, but I really like embraced being a left back in the end. It was quite fun, sort of just having the freedom of the left-hand side. Had to learn how to defend, which took me a while. But no, I enjoyed it. And it was a time where there was some really good left back. Like, who was the Arsenal left back at the time?
Ashley Cole?
Ashley Cole. Oh, sorry, I was thinking, I couldn't think before Gael Clichy. Ashley Cole was the Arsenal left back. And I thought, well, people like Ashley Cole. This is before he had the move. People like Ashley Cole. He's cool. He's in the England squad. He's a nice guy. He seems like he really enjoys playing there. He's like a really well-known name. He plays at fullback. I was thinking, well, there's so many other players that play at fullback, like Maldini, Roberto Carlos. I was thinking, these are really elite, well-known footballers that are really, really good at their job. And it's a time where you don't see many kids go, I play football. I want to be a left back or I want to be a right back. Not many people want to do that. So I thought, sure, I'll just make it my own. And I really enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Yeah, really cool. And conversion as well, because I think Roberto Carlos and Ashley Cole both started off as left wingers, dropping back to left back as well. So
it must be something in the water of left wingers. They just drop them back a bit.
It is. And I think, to be fair though, I think when football started to change as well then, and your fullbacks weren't defenders as such, they were expected to get forward. And if you've got a midfielder or a winger and he offers enough awareness, whether it's defending, but enough awareness, it's easy to drop people back into that position. because you're going to technically be good enough with the ball, so you don't need to worry about the ball coming out to you.
No.
The pace in theory is going to be there, so there's not going to be a huge amount of wingers that are going to be quicker than you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you're going forward, you've got that ability to cross a ball. So actually, it made a lot of sense. I saw a lot of that happening myself as well. So good. It's good.
No, it made perfect sense. And like I said, thinking of it's a team game, right? So I was happy to do it, and it balanced out the team really well. Because I think we only had 2, maybe 3 at a push, natural left-footed players.
Yeah.
So I thought, do you know what? I'll embrace this. And like you said, I ticked a lot of boxes for it, I guess. So it worked really well.
Yeah. I mean, I've never understood running a team when you haven't got someone, your right back's missing that week, for example, but you've got someone in the squad who can play right back, and you say, I need you to do it. And they go, no, I'd rather be a sub.
Yeah. Like, that tells me all I need to know. That tells me all I need to know.
Exactly. You know, I want to be up front. Well, yeah, I get that.
That's the thing. It's a beautiful thing when you've got you're coaching some kids, or you're in school, whatever, and you say, right, who plays football? All hands go up. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Right. What position do you play? Go and stand here for goalkeeper, here for defender, here for midfielder, here for striker. Everyone just goes for a striker because they just want to score goals. And I used to look and think, well, the ones that want to be a midfielder, or you get like set goalkeepers, people that are keepers. But if you want to be a midfielder, or especially be a defender, that tells me like, okay, you want to play, and you're not just worried about scoring. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we can all be a bit selfish as a kid, but I thought, I looked at defenders and midfielders and thought, you guys want to play. You want to give something for the team rather than just be up there to try and score goals.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Cool. Number 4, if you could have improved one thing within your footballing ability, or would have improved your footballing ability, what would it have been?
Again, there's a few. I wish I was a bit more vocal on the pitch and impose myself a bit more, because I'm quite a passive guy. Like, I'm very non-confrontational. I like to just do my job and be happy with it. And I used to think, not blowing on trouble, but I used to think when I used to turn up and play, I was quite professional in terms of I'd turn up, do my job, feel like I do it well, and then be quite happy with it. Like, I'd contribute to the team, but I didn't have too many sort of leadership skills in terms of being vocal and pulling players about and being a bit more demanding of the team. I didn't really have like captain traits, which I think would have been quite good. I think a lot of people enjoyed me sort of at training and things. Like, I'm good as a teammate and enjoyed being on my team. Didn't enjoy playing against me too much, but I was quite quiet, which was, thinking about it now, I could have been more vocal, which would have helped my game in general. I did have trials at Fulham as well, but I was like 12, 13. And I had a recall trial there, but I couldn't get to it because family were working. I was 12, 13, and I could have got the train. I could have got public transport, but I essentially used it as having a lift there as an excuse to not go. And who knows what could have come of that. Like, that's a constant regret. Even if they said to me, right, we're not going to continue this forward, there might have been another scout there, or they might have recommended me to a club further down the pecking order in London, maybe someone like Leyton Orient, someone like that, or Millwall at the time. And at the time, I was quite sort of technical for my age. I was good. I was being put forward for like the county and things like that. So I sort of had backed myself, but just missed out on that getting back there, which really sucks. Now I'm thinking about it. It's just depressing me.
It is, and it is one of those things as well, isn't it? It is, I suppose, you don't want to go through life with regrets, but there's always there's always a moment, there's always a thought where you think, do you know what, if I'd just done that differently, things could be so much different. And the regret is never, and it's, some people look at it and think, oh, Big Eddie thinks he's going to be, but it's not. It's the fact that you'll never know. That's the biggest. That's the regret. It's not the not going. It's the fact you never know where it could have taken you.
Yeah, it's always the what if.
Yeah, exactly. If you'd gone, as you say, if you'd gone and it hadn't happened, and they said no, and no one else had picked you up, you could then just say, well, at least I went, and they said no.
Yeah,
job done. But in the end, it's almost like you've said no, because you haven't gone. And similar sort of thing from my point of view as well. Getting injured so early, I should have managed myself so much better, and I didn't. And I went 18-year-old. I made 2 big mistakes. I decided that I'm not going to be able to play for a year. It ended up being sort of almost a year and a half playing properly. I'm not going to be able to play for a year. So why am I worrying about not going out and having a drink and things like that? And it just becomes a thing as an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
But then the second regret was at the time I was at college doing sports qualification, and I couldn't get the grade I wanted to go to university to do the qualifications because I couldn't do the physical side of it. I could only do the theory. So I went, well, pointless exercise. So I sacked that off and went and got a job. And you look back and I think, do you know what? I wouldn't be in the position I am now, 20 odd years later. But by the same token, there is always that element of what ifs. My missus don't let me have the what ifs because she's like, well, if you'd done it, you wouldn't be here. I agree. I mean, much better choice I made. Much better choices.
Yeah. Just keep telling her that. That'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say that on these interviews when she's not in.
Yeah. I know what you mean though. It's the what if. That's the most annoying thing. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that I could have done. I mean, I was training twice a week with my Sunday league club and playing on a Sunday. So that was 3 times a week. I was playing for the school as well, playing for the county, playing for my local team as well for their under 18s and under 21s or whatever. And that was training in a match. So I was at least 5 times a week I was playing. So my fitness was good. I was learning. I was getting better. Oh, one thing I wish I did differently, actually, this just come to me. I wish my right foot wasn't literally there for balance, because I use it for balance, or if I need to use it, I will. It's not brilliant, but I wish I was much more natural so I could shift it to my right foot and play a pass or ping a ball 30 yards or whip a crossing with that, or not be shown onto my left, because as soon as people figure me out, it's like, he's going onto his left. And I wish I put a lot more time into, it's all well and good smashing a ball over the park or at training with your strong foot at goal and trying to score or whatever, but I should have put more time into actually learning to use my weak foot, where's best to use my weak foot, how to use my weak foot. I didn't write that down, but that's probably the biggest one now.
That I know that is a key one, I think. But Raheem Sterling's done well without being able to use his left foot, so
yeah, he's a little bit more agile than me.
I mean, but I agree. It frustrates me when I see pro players and they are so one-footed.
Yes, yeah.
I know. It's like if you watching some of the England games with Sterling, he had a brilliant World Cup, brilliant Euros. There's no way I'm going to deny that. I've not always been his biggest fan, but he played very, very well. But the amount of times, and you watched it, the more games went on, where he went down the line, got to the byline, and then cut back to his right foot, the defender would cover him, and he'd cut back to his left foot, and they wouldn't go with him because they knew he was going to cut back again anyway. So they didn't need to. And it was like, it's so frustrating to watch that. And all it is literally, you don't even have to be good. You know, sometimes with your left foot or with your right foot, if you're left-footed, sometimes it can just be in that position, a swing, hit the ball. It goes drilled across the box, or you get a corner or something like that. But just turning, and you end up being outnumbered. And I think, being able to use both feet is always a key to an extent. You don't have to be strong with both.
No, but able
being
to
an option. Having it as an option as opposed to, as you say, a balance or a stander, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the players that, just thinking about Arsenal players that I've really enjoyed, I couldn't tell which foot he was, Santi Cazorla.
Yes.
Like, he's just a pleasure to watch play.
Yeah.
Before his injuries, obviously, because you know, left foot, right foot. I mean, when I saw him, and I thought, God, he's brilliant. He'd trot over to the left hand side, take an in swinging corner with his left foot. It got flicked on, went for a corner, trotted over to the other side, in swinging corner with his right. I thought, that's just superb. Like, it's just brilliant, and it makes him it puts him levels above.
Yes,
where he would be if he was just one-footed. And so advice would be train your weaker foot. So I that, and obviously getting back to a trial and not knowing the what if would probably be the two biggest ones that I think hopefully would have made me better, give me more of a chance to make it.
Cool. Okay, so let's move on to the big five. Question number 5, the big five. The 5 key attributes any footballer should have to make or put them above the rest. So what do you feel, Mike, are the 5 key attributes that will make the most complete footballer?
Okay. Do you need these in order, or can I just
just go for a list? Yeah.
All right. So we briefly spoke about this, but I've got concentration.
Yes.
For obvious reasons. Throughout the 90 minutes, not just concentrating on your position or when you get the ball. Yeah. Like concentrating throughout the game and concentrating for your teammates and your team as well, not just on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Determination. Just sort of like I sort of tie into that sort of like passion, work rate into determination, wanting to be there, wanting to play, not wanting to lose, not wanting to lose the ball, wanting to win it back. You know, there's different ways to be determined on a football pitch, and
having that desire to be a winner.
Yes, exactly. Having that desire to, you know, if you're 3-0 down, just don't roll over and give up. Still keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, I've had guys play for me before where they will say, "Oh, you know, we're just here we enjoy the football. You know, we don't care whether we win or lose." Yeah, and that really annoys me because you enjoy it a hell of a lot more when you win. And it only takes one person to have that attitude, and it can destroy it. So I mean,
you can have fun with it, but I think determination is high on my list of 5s because again, you need it for multiple positions. Well, you need all of these for every position on the pitch.
Yeah.
But that is one I feel like combined with concentration. If you concentrate and you're determined, not much is going to stop you.
Yeah.
You know, at least you're doing your absolute best, essentially.
Yes.
Following on from that, teamwork, I think is extremely important as well, just because obviously it's a team game. If you don't function, it could slow the whole team down. It could slow the whole process down, the whole play down. Essentially, as well, if you just sort of lose the ball and slowly get up and lumber back, it's not a good look, and it's going to let the rest of your team down. Again, going back to the Arsenal references, I don't think he was as bad as people make out, but Mesut Ozil was a constant scapegoat for not being very determined or not working for the team, not tracking back, not defend, not doing certain roles. And you think, well, he did in other areas. And I'm not saying he didn't have any teamwork or anything like that, but as people do pick up on it, on that specific attribute. So you think teamwork is something that essentially makes the dream work, Bajie?
It does. It definitely makes the dream work. It definitely makes the dream work. And as you say, it's a team game. If you haven't got teamwork, you're going to fail. As you say, the sum is greater than the parts. So
and you see the teams now that sort of at the top of football at the moment. Look, you've just seen Italy win the Euros. You look at them, you think, God, they're a team. They're like a complete team. There's no individuals there. Not anybody that is putting themselves above everybody else. It is a complete team game. They're all pulling in the right direction. They all pulling for one another. And like we said, it works. So
and I would say Denmark got to the semi-finals purely because of that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have look at France. Went out to Switzerland, France, perfect example. Perfect example. All right, moving on from that. So we've got concentration, determination, teamwork. Again, I briefly spoke to you about this. Passing. Like you said, you said anywhere on the pitch, you should be able to pass a football. Which, whether it's 10 yards, 20 yards, you should really be able to make a 30, 40-yard pass as a professional footballer. And that should open things up to be able to keep the ball, to be able to switch play, to be able to shoot from you don't have to put your laces through the ball, but to have a good side-footed effort on goal, or if you're in a position to be able to be a threat. And just be able to keep the ball. Like, imagine if I'd be fuming if every time I passed the ball back, or if I was a left back and I passed it to the centre back and he just lumped it because he couldn't pass, he just thumped it up the pitch. Or if I passed the defensive mid or a midfielder and all they did was just turn around and lump it, or not have that sort of concentration and teamwork to turn and look around and see what's going on and be able to pass it or switch or anything like that infuriates me. I mean, going back to FM, we see it on that. Sometimes my centre backs have got a ball and they just lump it up the pitch. I'm thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've got this set, short passing. Don't knock it long. What are you doing?
The worst one. I had it today. Leno, I know it's primarily, so it's not all the time, but distribute to fullbacks, distribute to centre backs. Yeah. He just tries to pick out a midfielder. We concede from it. I just think it's a nightmare. So it's a nightmare. So yeah, I think passing is vital as well. Again, especially the way the game's going now. It's so sort of, it's that tick-attacker style.
Yeah.
You know, goalkeepers need to be able to pass the ball. Everyone needs to be able to pass the ball. Centre backs need to be able to pass the ball.
Yeah.
You look at like the England centre backs now in John Stones, Maguire. Yeah, they're brilliant at what they do, but they're good with the ball at their feet as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can dribble. They can pick a pass. They've got good vision.
Yeah. You'd say both of them are ball playing defenders. Yes. But they're actually ball playing defenders who can defend as well.
Yeah. Agreed. And last but not least, this is I don't know if many other people would have had this. This was a different one, but I went with first touch.
Yeah. I think because one person out of maybe 20, 25 that we've had.
Yeah. I think that comes into under the same umbrella as just like control, essentially. So first touch / control, because then you are in control of your own game, the ball, what you're doing. And the first touch is so important because it sets you up for what's coming next. If your first touch is poor or you can't control a ball, there's not much point passing you the ball because it bounces off you like a trampoline.
Yeah.
I mean, people picked up on Lukaku for not having a great first touch. I think it's much better now.
Yeah.
People picked up on him for not having a great first touch. And if it's something that people really focus on that you're not very good at said time, it's going to lose you the ball, or it's going to lose the team the ball. It's going to put you and other people in danger, in trouble. And it's football's a pass and move. It's an easy game.
Yeah.
Pass and move. And passing and first touch, I think, are two like really pivotal parts of the game.
Yeah, as you say, that the first touch completely opens up the field of play for you. If your first touch is good, it's either bringing the ball in and controlling it, or you're setting it the right distance away to make a pass or to get beyond someone. It opens up so many different avenues, and I completely agree. I think that is something that you see, as you say, you see so many players not have, and it's another one that's really frustrating because you've got to be able to control the football. I mean, how did you get into the position of playing if you can't?
You're taught that as a kid.
Yeah.
Like so many drills I did were passing drills and control and two touch backwards and forth, literally doggies, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's it. You'd pass, first touch, pass it, join the end of the queue. And it would keep going like that. And hours and hours and hours we've done with that. But I think that with the first touch, there's other attributes that come into under the first touch umbrella, like we said, control and like anticipation as well.
Yeah.
Because if you've got someone coming up your back as the ball's coming into you and you've had a little look over your shoulder, you're anticipating that, you know, they're coming, you're anticipating a tackle, and you can set it out a certain way or a certain direction.
Yeah.
And anticipation in that regard, and how the team's moving forward as well. If you lay me the ball and I'm essentially just favored to get there ahead of someone coming at me, and I touch it past them, I've anticipated them committing, gone past them. And like you said, it opens up so many different avenues for the next pass and the attack to develop.
Yeah. And I would also say, I mean, with the first touch, the amount of times that you see someone, going back to what you were saying earlier about being better with your other foot, and the ball gets played in and they go, oh, you played it to my wrong foot. Yeah. Move your body.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't expect you to be able to kick it 40 yards with that foot, but at least control the ball.
You can control if it's coming on my right. We used to do those drills. I used to pass it, used to aim it at people's weak foot, and the coaches knew this as well. So even if I'd control it with my right and pass with my right, great. If not, I'd control it with my right onto my left.
Yeah.
So I'm not using the outside of my left. I was cushioning it with the inside and then passing the left. And just different drills and different ways to improve your first touch, B, your weak foot, C, your vision, anticipation, your control, your passing. It all comes under the same thing, which I think, is why I've put first touch as one of my 5 must-haves.
Yeah, and also just to touch on something else there where you said your first touch and the look over the shoulder.
Yeah.
When people come training for me, I run a men's team. So when people come training, That's how I can determine whether they will be a decent player or not.
Yeah.
If the ball comes in and they just try and hold the ball straight away, if they're not aware of what's going on around it, if they've not had a look, then all I know is they're going to slow up play.
Yeah.
Every time. So you've then got to work out where they play, because you can't afford to have them doing that all the time.
Yeah.
So then,
it's nice to have that sort of the trait to be able to look and anticipate what's going on. But then obviously the shouts help as well. So if I'm playing centre mid and you're the centre back, you give me the ball. If I know I've had a look and there's no one immediately behind me, I can touch and turn and play out either way. Obviously, a call of turn or time or turn a certain direction would help. But you need that as a player you need that awareness to know what's going on, essentially. Exactly. What's behind you, so you can play forward from there.
Exactly. So the 5: concentration, determination, teamwork, first touch and passing. Great 5. Great 5. Like it a lot.
I'd like to think so.
Right, that brings us to the end. Guys and girls, if you are not already following Mike, Sweet Left Foot, his tag for Twitch. Too many T's. His tag for Twitch is underneath him right now. Go and drop the man a follow. Go and have a look. Get involved in his current Arsenal save. Keep an eye out for posts and bits and pieces on Twitter. And also, I heard a cheeky rumour within his stream today that he may be doing some bits and pieces back on YouTube again. So keep them peeled for that as well. You never know what's coming. For now, though, guys, we will say thank you. Thanks for your time today, Mike. It's been a pleasure. Up the 1-2 on the FM rankings.
Up the 1-2 on the FM rankings. Thanks, Bajie. Much appreciated. And if you're watching this, thank you very much for your time. It's been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Thank you. Cheers, buddy.